Anchored in the Red Sea off the coast of Yemen, supertanker FSO Safer contains over 1 million barrels of crude oil and threatens to cause an environmental and humanitarian disaster. It was abandoned nearly a decade ago due to the civil war, and now it is falling apart, a looming catastrophe this fragile country cannot afford.
We don't want the Red Sea to become the Black Sea. That's what's going to happen. It's an ancient vessel, a 1976 supertanker, therefore is not only old but unmaintained and likely to sink or explode at any moment.
The UN is so desperate to stop the oil spilling that it has crowdfunded the purchase of a rescue tanker to go on a salvage operation. This graphic animation of its plan shows how the huge containers on board the ship need to be made safe and how tons of oil could eventually be removed from the hull. The cost of not intervening could be astronomical, but the UN is still short of the money to finish the job.
There's plenty of money available in different member state budgets for a response to an emergency. I know if there was an oil spill, there would be tens of millions of dollars pouring in to solve the spill. But nobody seems to have budget lines for avoiding a catastrophe.
The scale of the threat here is enormous. If the ship breaks apart, the oil spill would take just 2 or 3 weeks to spread all the way up to Saudi Arabia, across to Eritrea and down to the city of Aden. And this would quickly close these key ports of Hodeidah and Salif, ending food aid for nearly 6 million people. Fuel imports would stop too, affecting the 8 million people in Yemen who rely on fuel-powered pumps or trucks to get their fresh water. And the oil would contaminate these desalination pumps dotted along the coast, disrupting the supply of water to a further 2 million people.
On top of that, the country's coral reefs and fish stocks might never recover.
The oil tanker is located in a very, very healthy coral reef, and it has a lot of species of marine organisms. Biodiversity is high in that area. The oil spill has found its way to the water column. So many marine sensitive habitats are going to be, damaged.
The clock is ticking on FSO Safer, a threat to the ocean, the land and the vulnerable people who live on it, and a man-made crisis in waiting. Hannah Thomas-Peters, Sky News.